Ever feel like the world of business is just this massive, complicated thing full of terms and ideas that don't quite land?
Oh, absolutely. It can seem pretty overwhelming.
Yeah, it's easy to get lost, but what if we could just cut through that, get a real handle on how things actually work?
That's the goal.
Well, that's exactly what we're doing today. We're taking a deep dive into the absolute fundamentals of business management.
Getting back to basics.
Exactly. And our guide, it's some excellent lecture material called Introduction to Management. It's for a course, Business Management for IT, by Dudula Chamara Thanawira Arachi.
So, solid academic grounding.
Right. Think of it as getting the core insights, the essential stuff, without wading through endless textbooks. Our mission is simple. Demystify what a business is, look at the different ways they're set up, and really focus on management's role in it all.
Making it make sense.
We want you to walk away feeling, genuinely clear about the whole thing.
And look, this isn't just for people aiming for the corner office or in IT. Honestly, understanding these core ideas, it's valuable for pretty much everyone.
How so?
Well, it's like getting a special lens, you know? Suddenly you can look at almost any organization, your local cafe or some huge tech company, and start to see the why behind it.
Ah, like why they make certain decisions.
Exactly. How they use their resources, what really makes them tick. It gives you a framework.
Okay, I like that. So let's start right at square one, the absolute bedrock. What is a business organization, fundamentally?
Right. Well, at its heart, it's a group of people. They come together with a shared purpose.
Okay, a purpose. Like what?
Usually it's about satisfying human needs and wants. They do that by producing goods or providing services.
And the goal is generally?
Typically, the common objective is profit maximization. That's often the main driver, yes. It's about people working together towards an economic result.
Okay, profit. Makes sense. But the source material mentions it's not always just about the money, right? Businesses have other goals too.
That's a great point, yes. While profit is key, many businesses also aim for growth, maybe expanding their operations. They definitely focus on keeping customers happy.
And what about internally?
Employee development is often a big one, investing in their people. And increasingly, you see social goals playing a part too. Being a good corporate citizen, that kind of thing.
So it's a mix of things driving them.
It really is. It's rarely just one single thing.
Now, to chase those goals, they need stuff to work with, resources.
Precisely. We call them productive resources. Think land, physical space, natural resources, labor, the people doing the work, capital, that's money, machinery, buildings.
The tools of the trade.
Exactly. And don't forget entrepreneurship, the idea, the drive, the risk-taking to bring it all together.
Land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. Got it.
And the crucial thing to remember, none of it's free. Every single one comes with an operating cost.
Ah, right. Everything costs something.
Always. Using any resource means there's an associated expense. That directly hits the bottom line.
So once a business has these resources, how do they actually, do business? What are the core activities?
You can really boil it down to three main functions. First, buy or acquire. Get the inputs you need.
Raw materials, supplies.
Right. Often managed by warehousing, logistics, that sort of thing. Second, make or process. This is where you turn those inputs into the actual goods or services, your production line, your operations.
Okay, buy, make.
And third,
Yeah.
sell or trade. Get your finished product out to the customers.
Marketing, sales.
Exactly. But to make those three core things happen smoothly, you need a whole support system, right?
Like what?
Well, things like marketing to create demand, financing and accounting to manage the money, human resource management to handle the people side.
R&D.
Yes, research and development for innovation, creating new things, and then selling and distribution to actually get it out there. It's all connected.
It sounds like a complex machine.
It is, definitely. Lots of moving parts.
Thinking about all this, it feels like every single business, whether it's tiny or massive, runs into the same fundamental roadblock, doesn't it?
You're absolutely right. There's a basic economic problem that shapes everything.
Which is?
Scarcity. Simple as that.
Scarcity.
It's the hard truth that we have limited resources, time, money, materials, everything, but essentially unlimited wants and needs as humans.
There's never enough to go around for everything everyone wants.
Exactly. The source puts it bluntly. Everything is scarce. Nothing's infinite.
So why does scarcity exist again, just to be clear?
It's that mismatch. Unlimited wants versus limited resources. Because of that gap, businesses and whole societies really have to make choices. Constant choices.
Choices about what?
Three big ones. What are we going to produce given our limited resources? How are we going to produce it most efficiently? And crucially, for whom are we producing this stuff? Who gets it?
Those sound like really tough decisions.
They are. And they're not theoretical. They're made every single day in businesses everywhere.
And making one choice means not making another one.
Precisely. That brings us to opportunity cost.
Okay, what's that?
It's the value of the next best alternative you gave up when you made your choice. It's the cost of the thing you didn't do.
The road not taken and what you missed out on.
Exactly.
Hmm.
If you invest money in Project A, the opportunity cost is the potential profit you might have made from Project B, which you couldn't afford to do.
Wow, okay.
And what's really fascinating, I think, is seeing how these big economic ideas, scarcity, choice, opportunity costs, aren't just abstract theories. They directly drive the day-to-day strategy and decisions of every single business.
From the little guy deciding on a new coffee machine versus, I don't know, a local ad.
Right, to the multinational figuring out which country to build its next factory in. It all comes back to weighing those limited resources against potential outcomes in what you're sacrificing.
Okay, that puts a lot into perspective. So given all this complexity, all these challenges, why is actually studying management itself so important?
Good question. There are a few really solid reasons. First off, management is universal,
Meaning?
meaning it's needed everywhere.
Mm.
Every type of organization, businesses, yes, but also hospitals, schools, governments, charities.
Mm-hmm.
They all need to be managed effectively.
Okay, universality. What else?
Then there's just the reality of work. Think about it. Most people, sometime in their career, are either going to be managed by someone or they'll end up managing others. Or both.
True. You're either reporting up or people are reporting to you.
Exactly. So understanding how it works is pretty vital. And third, studying management gives you real insight into leadership. The rewards, sure, but also the very real challenges involved.
It's not an easy job.
Definitely not. It's demanding, but it can be incredibly rewarding when done well.
So when we say management,
Mm.
it sounds simple, but the source calls it the art of getting things done through people. What's the substance behind that phrase?
That's a classic definition, and it captures a lot. It highlights the human element, the art involved, but it's also very much a systematic process.
Or process involving...
4 key functions, typically.
Yeah.
Planning, organizing, leading, and controlling.
Yeah.
It's a continuous cycle.
Okay, plan, organize, lead, control.
Right. And another good definition from Robbins and Coulter describes it as coordinating work activities so that they are completed efficiently and effectively with and through other people.
Efficiency and effectiveness, those seem key.
Absolutely. Doing things right,
Yeah.
efficiency, and doing the right things, effectiveness. Management aims for both.
Okay, let's break down that 4-step process then. Planning, what does that really involve?
Planning is all about setting the direction. It means selecting the organization's goals, where do we want to go, and then figuring out the best ways to actually get there, developing the roadmap.
Makes sense. Then organizing.
Organizing is about creating the structure to execute that plan. It involves assigning responsibility for different tasks, grouping jobs into departments, deciding who reports to whom, building the framework.
Getting the pieces in place.
Exactly. Then comes leading. This is maybe where the art comes in most clearly.
That-
It's about using influence to motivate employees, getting people energized, committed, working together towards those goals, communication, inspiration, resolving conflict. It's very people-centric.
Okay, and the last one, controlling.
Controlling is about monitoring progress. Are we actually on track to meet the goals we set in the planning stage? It involves measuring performance, comparing it to standards, and making corrections if things are going off course.
Closing the loop.
Precisely. It feeds back into planning for the next cycle. Plan, organize, lead, control. It's continuous.
And managers use resources to do all this, right?
Yes, absolutely. They're juggling all sorts of resources.
Yeah.
Human resources, obviously, the people.
Yeah.
Financial resources, the money, raw materials, technological resources, tools and systems, and information.
Information as a resource.
Hugely important. Data, market insights, competitor knowledge. Managers leverage all of these to achieve organizational performance.
Which means?
Hitting those goals we talked about. Delivering the desired products and services. And doing it all efficiently and effectively. That's the ultimate aim.
So, if that's the process and the goal, who are these managers then? What defines a manager?
Well, simply put, a manager is someone who coordinates and oversees the work of other people. Their job is to ensure that the team's efforts align so that the organization's goals can be achieved.
They're orchestrators.
That's a good way to think about it, yeah.
Yeah.
making sure everyone's playing their part effectively.
Now, that raises a key point from the source material. Not all managers are the same, are they? There are different levels.
Exactly right. You typically see a hierarchy, usually broken down into three main levels of management.
Okay, let's start at the top.
Right. You have top management. These are your CEOs, managing directors, board of directors, presidents, the C-suite, basically.
What's their main job?
They're focused on the big picture, setting the overall direction, the long-term strategy, the major objectives, and broad policies for the entire organization. They make the highest level decisions.
Deciding where the ship is going.
Precisely. They also appoint other senior managers, control the overall organization, and are often the main face of the company to the outside world.
Okay, top management. What's next?
Below them, you have middle management. Think branch managers, department heads, divisional managers.
The connecting layer.
Exactly. They act as the bridge between top management and the front lines. Their job is to translate those broad strategic plans for the top into more concrete, actionable plans for their specific units or departments.
So more tactical.
Very much so. They're involved in hiring and training lower-level managers, interpreting policies, coordinating activities within their division, sending reports upwards, and motivating the managers below them.
A crucial link in the chain.
Definitely. They need to understand both the big picture and the operational details.
And then the third level?
That's the first-line management level, also called supervisory or operative level.
Who are these folks?
These are your supervisors, foremen, section officers, team leaders. They're directly overseeing the employees who are actually doing the day-to-day work, making the product, serving the customer.
Right on the front lines.
Exactly. Their focus is on direct supervision, direction, and control of specific tasks, assigning jobs, checking quality and quantity, dealing with immediate worker problems or grievances, ensuring discipline.
They sound incredibly important for getting the actual work done.
They really are. The source calls them the image builders because they have that direct contact with the workforce. They communicate company goals down and worker issues up. They ensure the orchestra's musicians are playing the right notes at the right time.
That's a great analogy. Okay, so we have a handle on what a business is, the challenges, and the different layers of management. Now, let's shift gears slightly. Businesses can also be categorized by what they do, right?
Yes, that's another way to look at them. You can group them by their primary activity.
Like?
Well, you have service-providing organizations, think consultants, hairdressers, banks, airlines. They offer intangible services. Okay. Then manufacturing organizations. These actually make physical products. Car companies, furniture makers, food processors.
Tangible goods.
Right. And finally, trading organizations. These businesses buy goods and then sell them on, usually without changing them much. Wholesalers, retailers, import-export businesses.
Buy low, sell high, essentially.
That's the basic model, yes. So service, manufacturing, trading based on activity.
Simple enough. But maybe more fundamentally, businesses differ based on their legal structure, don't they? How they're actually owned and set up legally.
Oh, absolutely. This is a critical distinction.
So what does this mean for someone maybe thinking about starting a business or even just trying to understand the companies they buy from?
It means a lot. The legal structure impacts ownership, control, how you raise money, and crucially, liability, who's responsible if things go wrong.
Liability sounds important.
It's huge. Let's start with the simplest form. The sole proprietorship or sole trader.
Just one person.
Exactly. Owned and controlled by one individual. It's the most common form, especially for small businesses, because it's easy to set up.
What's the catch?
The big one is liability. Legally, there's no separation between the owner and the business. They're considered the same entity.
Meaning?
Meaning the owner has unlimited liability. If the business racks up debts it can't pay, creditors can go after the owner's personal assets, house, car, savings, everything.
Wow, that's risky.
It can be. The advantages are you keep all the profit, you have full control, and it's simple. But disadvantages include that unlimited liability, difficulty raising significant capital, it's just you, and you bear all the losses yourself.
Okay, sole proprietorship. What's next?
Partnerships. This is where 2 or more people the source mentions, typically between 2 and 20 in the context it's discussing, agree to run a business together.
So sharing the load.
Right. They usually have a partnership agreement outlining how profits and losses are shared, who invests what, management duties, and so on.
And the liability situation.
Generally, similar to a sole proprietorship. Partners usually have unlimited liability, meaning their personal assets are potentially at risk for business debts. The partnership itself isn't always a separate legal entity from the partners.
So still risky, personally.
Can be, yes. Also, partnerships can dissolve if a partner dies or leaves, or if a pre-agreed term expires.
What are the upsides then?
Easier to form than a company? You can pool expertise and capital from multiple partners, and the risk is shared among them. Downsides include that unlimited liability, having to share profits, potential for disagreements, and sometimes slower decision-making with more people involved.
Makes sense. So sole proprietorships, partnerships. What's the third main type?
The company, or corporation, this is a different beast altogether.
How so?
Because companies, under laws like the Companies Act mentioned in the source, are treated as separate legal entities from their owners, the
A
shareholders.
separate legal person.
Exactly. The company can own assets, enter contracts, sue, and be sued in its own name. And this leads to the absolute key advantage: limited liability.
Ah, limited liability. Explain that.
It means the shareholders' liability for the company's debts is limited, usually just to the amount they've invested in their shares. Their personal assets are protected if the company fails.
That sounds like a game changer.
It absolutely is.
Hmm.
This is what allows companies to raise huge amounts of capital by selling shares to potentially thousands of investors. People are willing to invest because their personal risk is capped.
Right. You only risk what you put in.
Precisely. It also allows for separation of ownership, shareholders, and management, who might be hired professionals, and gives the company perpetual life. It can continue existing even if shareholders or managers change.
Okay, so companies offer big advantages for scaling up. Are there different kinds?
Yes, typically two main categories. First, private limited companies.
What defines them?
They usually have a limit on the number of shareholders, maybe 50 as the source suggests for its context. Crucially, they cannot offer their shares for sale to the general public.
So, more tightly held.
Exactly. Transferring shares often requires the consent of other shareholders. They also might have restrictions on raising funds through things like debentures. You'll often see their names ending in private limited or PVT, LTD.
Okay, private limited and the other type.
Public limited companies, or PLCs. These are often much larger.
How do they differ?
There's generally no upper limit on the number of shareholders. And the big difference: they can offer their shares for sale to the general public, often listing them on a stock exchange.
Like the ones you hear about in the news.
Exactly. This makes shares easily transferable. They can also raise funds more broadly, including issuing debentures. Their names often end in public limited company, or PLC is listed, or sometimes just limited or LTD.
So, private is more closed, public is open to public investment.
That's a good summary. The overall advantages of forming a company are that limited liability and easier access to capital for expansion.
Are there downsides to the company structure?
Sure, decision-making can sometimes be slower due to more layers of management or needing board approval. There are often more complex regulations and tax implications. And there's always the possibility that the original founders could lose control if outsiders buy up a majority of the shares.
Trade-offs, as always.
Always trade-offs.
Wow. Okay, that was quite a journey. We've really covered a lot of ground today, haven't we?
We certainly have. From the basic definition of a business and its economic hurdles,
Right, scarcity and opportunity cost.
through the whole process and different levels of management.
Planning, organizing, leading, controlling, top, middle, first line.
And finally, looking at the different legal suits a business can wear: sole trader, partnership, company.
Yeah, private and public limited. It feels like we've built a really solid foundation for understanding how this whole world works.
I think so too. And hopefully having this foundational knowledge really does empower you, the listener. Now, when you look at organizations around you,
You see them differently.
yeah, you have a clearer lens. You can start to understand the mechanics behind the scenes, why they're structured the way they are, what challenges they're likely facing. It makes a complex world a bit less opaque.
Definitely feels that way. So maybe a final thought to leave everyone with.
Go for it.
Well, we've talked about the fundamentals as they stand now, but things change so fast, don't they? Technology, society. So here's something to ponder. What new fundamental problems, or maybe entirely new types of organizations, might pop up in the future? Things that could challenge these very definitions of business and management we've discussed.
That's a fascinating question. How might that art of getting things done through people need to evolve next?
Exactly. What's the next transformation? Something to definitely think about.